Okay, let's get started. Now we are discuss about the Poetics by Aristotle, part 13. As the sequel to what has already been said, we must proceed to consider what the poet should aim at and what he should avoid in constructing his plots, and by what means the specific effort of tragedy will be pursued. A perfect tragedy should, as we have seen, be arranged not on the simple but on the complex plan. It should, moreover, imitate actions which excite pity and fear, this being the constructive mark of tragic imitation. It follows plainly in the first place that the change of fortune presented must not be the spectacle of a virtuous man brought from prosperity to adversity. For this moves neither pity nor fear, it merely shocked us. Nor again that of a bad man passing from adversity to prosperity, for nothing can be more alien to the spirit of tragedy. It processes not a single tragedy quality, it neither satisfies the moral sense nor calls forth pity and pity or fear. Nor again should the downfall of the utter villains by exhibit. A plot of this kind would doubtless satisfy the moral sense, but it would inspire neither pity nor fear. For pity is aroused by unmet, unmetered for misfortunes, fear by the misfortune of a man like ourselves. Such an event, therefore, will be neither pitiful or nor terrible. There remains then the character between these two extremes, that of a man who is not eminently good and just, yet whose misfortune is brought about not by vice of depravity, but they some error or for frailty. He, he must be one who is highly renewed and prosperous prospers personage like Oedipus, Theseus, or others illustrious men of such families. A well constructed plot should therefore be single in its issues, rather than double as some maintain. The change of fortune should be not from bad to good, but reversely from good to bad. It should come about as the result not of vice, but of some great error or frailty in a character, either such as we have described or better rather than worse. The practice of the stage bears out our view. At first, the poets recounted any legend that came in their way. No, the best tragedies are founded on the story of a few houses, on the fortunes of Oedipus, Orestes, Melanchthon, Theestus, Telephus, and those others who have done or suffer something troubled or tragedy, then to be sometimes some things terrible or tragedy, then to be perfect according to the rules of art should be of these constructions. Hence, they are in error who can sure. Euripides, just because he follows this principle in this in his plays, many of which end unhappily. It's as we have said, the right ending, the best proof is that on the stage and in dramatic competition. Such plays, if we walk out, are the most tragic in effort. And your piteous, faulty though he may be in the general management of his subject, Chess is felt to be the most tragic of the poet. In the second rank comes the kind of tragedy which some place first, like the like the tragedy which some place first, like the Odyssey. It has a double thread of plot and also an opposite catastrophe. For the good and for the bad, it's accounted the best because of the weakness of the spectators. For the poet is guided in what he writes by the wishes of his audience. The pleasures, however, then derived is not the true tragic pleasures. It's proper rather to comedy, where those who in the piece are the deadliest enemies, Mike Orestes and Axius, quit the stage as friends at the close, and no one slay or is slain. Part 14. Fear and pity may be aroused by spectacle means, but they may also result from the inner structure of the piece, which is the better way and indicates a superior poet. For the plot out to be so constructed that even without the aid of the eye, he who hears the tale told will thrill there with horror and smile to pity at what takes place. This is the impression we should receive from hearing the story of the Oedipus. But to proceed, produce this effort by the mere spectacle is a less artistic method and dependent on the extraneous aid. Those who employ spectacle means to create a sense not of the trouble but only of the monstrous or strangers to the purpose of tragedy. For we must not demand of tragedy any and every kind of pleasures, but only that which is proper to it. And since the pleasures which the poet should afford is that which comes from pity and fear through imitations, it's evident that this quality must be impressed upon the incidents. Let us then determine what are the circumstances which strike us as trouble or pitiful. Actions capable of this effort must happen between persons who are either friends or enemies or indifferent to one another. If any enemy kills an enemy, there is nothing to excite pity either in the act or the intention. Expect so far as the suffering in itself is pitiful, so again with indifferent person, but when the tragic incidents occur between those who are near or dear to one another. If, for example, a brother kills or intends to kill a brother, a son, his father, a mother, her son, a son, his mother, or any other deed of the kind is done. These are the situations to be looked for by the poet. He may not indeed destroy the framework of the received legends. The fact, for instance, the Saglans was slain by Orestes and Aristotle by Alcmaeus, but the out to how to show invention of his own and skillfully handle that traditional material. Let us explain more clearly what is meant by skillful handling. The action may be done consciously and with knowledge of the person in the manner of the older poets. It's thus to that Shorpedius makes Medea slay her children. Or again, the deed of horror may be done, but done is ignorance and the tie of kinship or friendship be discovered afterwards. The Oedipus of Sophocles is an example here. Indeed, the incident is outside the drama proper, but cases occurs where it falls within the action of the play. One may cite the commands of Astadium's or Telegians in the Wounded Odyssey. Again, there is a third case to be about to act with knowledge of the person and then not to act. The fourth case is when someone is about to do any irreparable deed through ignorance and makes a discovery before it's done. These are the only possible ways. Further deed must either be done or not done, and that whittling or unwhittling, but of all these way to be about to act knowing the person and then not to act is the worst. It's shocking without being tragic for no dis- disaster follows. It's therefore never or very rarely found in poetry. One instance, however, is in the Antigone, where Hermione threatens to kill Coran. The next and better way in that is that the deed should be per- perpetrated tells better that it should be perpetrated in ignorance and the discover made afterward. There's then nothing to shock us while the discover produce a startling effect. The last case is produce a starting effort. The last case is the best as when in the Crispin Merope is about to slay her sons, but recognizing who he is spares his life. So in the Afflinga, the sisters recognize the brother just is in time. Again in the Hello, the son recognizes the mother when on the point of giving her up. This then is why a few families only as has been already observed furnish the subject of tragedy. It was not art but happily chance that led the poets in search of subjects to impress the tragic quality upon their plots. They are compelled, therefore, to have recourse to these houses whose history contains moving incident like this. Enough have has no been said concerning the structure of the incident and the right kind of blood. Okay, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.